to buy or not to buy the LD Systems ICOA 15A BT, their 15-inch powered speaker. Now, I've done full reviews on the speakers, but it's been brought to my attention that I have from time to time not given enough time on actually talking about the negatives and positives of buying a particular speaker, because I've always looked at it as somebody who sells products versus somebody who's just reviewing the product and making sure that I fill your needs in watching this video. So we're going to talk about not just the good, but also the bad. Now, the bad may or may not apply to you. Same thing goes for the good. So again, should you buy it or should you not buy it? That's going to be this video. First thing we want to talk about is exactly what's going on. This is a very popular speaker. There's lots of reviews on it, and they're always talking about the coaxial driver on it. Now, again, I have a whole video which will be tagged at the end explaining how that works and how great that is. But let's talk about the overall features of having that and how good or bad it could be. Now, the good part is sound quality. I really like it. I think it does a very good job of reproducing sound. Doesn't matter where you are in front of the speaker, you're going to get a proper mix of mids, highs, and lows because of the coaxial design. Big positive. If you use it as a stage monitor, it's going to work awesome. Now, the drawback, the reason why you wouldn't want to buy it, is it's a pain in the ass. Now, for example, you got to take off, 10 screws off the side all the way around. Now, if you don't have it with an actual drill to make that happen, and you're doing it by hand, you're going to need two tools. You're going to need one to take all the screws off the side and another one to take the actual tweeter apart so you can rearrange it and change the orientation. I think it's awesome that you can do that, but that's half an hour. God forbid you got to do that on a regular basis. That's not a good idea. So there, the reason to buy it is that you have that feature, and that's awesome. If you're going to be using it in a house of worship or on a stage as a monitor, if you're going to be moving it around a lot, if that's what you're looking for, that's a good reason to buy it. But you certainly don't want to buy it if you think you're going to be doing it all the time. If my suggestion to LD Systems on the next generation of the speaker, maybe figure out a way how to spring load that, come up with an easier way to get in and out of it, and also let me know somehow on the outside that I've done it. I don't know. I know you can spin the actual logo around, so this way you can tell yourself this one I did. But the problem is if somebody accidentally plays with that, or if I forget to turn it, I don't know which one is which, right? Kind of have to listen to it and figure it out. So that's a reason to buy it and not buy it. Too much work. It also adds to the overall size, and I'll get to that in a second. That's, a big problem with that too. And time it takes to change it. Sound quality is awesome, so a good reason to buy it because it makes it sound awesome. Bad reason to buy it. It's a lot of work. Now, the second thing we're going to talk about is the overall sound. Now, I did touch a bit about that on the quality of reproduction of sound because of the Coax, but when it comes to the overall sound the speaker generates and sound quality that it has, it does a very good job. It doesn't have any bad sound coming through the box. So this way, the material the box is made of, the density of the box, the design of the box, all adds to the quality of sound. Now, for frequency reproduction, I do like it. It does have a bassier feel to it, generically, so I don't think it's going to be an FR. I could be wrong in saying that. Maybe if you play it flat or contour a little differently, you might get there. But my opinion is it's a good, strong speaker for low frequency. It's got great sound quality and it's smooth. You don't hear a hissing sound coming out of it. So if you're playing it in a quiet space, it does a really good job of reproducing its own sound and not a lot of background amplifier noise. So that's good stuff. Now, the reason not to buy it when it comes to sound quality is everything I just talked to you about adds to the overall weight and box design of the unit. For it to be so good at reproducing that sound quality, it now tips the scale at over 50 pounds, 52 or 53 pounds, I think it is. So as you get older, such as me, these things start to be an issue because I'm more Tom Hanks, less Tom Cruise. So picking up a 50 some odd pound speaker and carrying it up a flight of stairs, moving it in and out of a truck and doing all that with it, it becomes a bit of a rigmarole. So that's one of the negatives about having the speaker, is that all that quality comes with weight. So you might want to think of, let's say, if you need that quality of sound reproduction with very little background noise, maybe a line array might be your way to go. So don't buy it if you don't want to buy a heavy speaker. If you want to buy a heavy speaker, by all means, go ahead and buy it. It does have great sound quality, but of course, that's the reason why you wouldn't buy it. It's all that extra weight to carry that sound quality around with you. So a feature everybody looks for in a speaker under $1,000 is going to be Bluetooth. Now this speaker has Bluetooth, and how does that Bluetooth sound and work? Well, first of all, it's Bluetooth for one speaker. So if you're buying it for your own personal use, your own personal setup, or if you're going to buy it and use it in a bar or something where you're going to have to remotely play music off to it, it does have that. Now, I did test the XLR output when it comes to the subwoofer because these things have become issues. Now, this particular speaker, that's the negative about the Bluetooth, is that yes, you can run another speaker off of it or a subwoofer off of it while it's in Bluetooth, but you have no way of controlling the volume on that second unit. So the two good reasons about the Bluetooth on this speaker that would make me want to buy it is that one, it's good quality connectivity. I get some range out of it. Two, it does work via the XLR output. Those are good things to have when it comes to Bluetooth on a speaker. Now, the reasons why I wouldn't want to buy it because of the Bluetooth that's on it is that the Bluetooth doesn't have TWS, so you can't hook up two speakers wirelessly, link them together. And the output on the XLR, when it comes to the Bluetooth connectivity, doesn't have the option to be fixed or variable. It's just fixed. So that's kind of, problematic for a lot of people when it comes to just wanting to use it on Bluetooth, because you really have to simplify and make the use of that Bluetooth as smart as possible. So the next feature we're going to look at is going to be the ins and outs, the actual inputs and outputs on the back of the speaker. We did touch a bit on the XLR output, but when it comes to how the functions work and the inputs, well, that's a little, more trickier than that, because we do have two combo jack inputs and a 3.5 in place of the Bluetooth. So you can use the Bluetooth or the 3.5, your choice. And of course, the output we mentioned earlier is XLR. Now, for the inputs, they're combo jacks, and they're basically impedance and gain controlled when it comes to microphone versus line input. So, somebody can accidentally come by and turn up way too much when you have a line input and really overdo the speaker. So those can be some of the negative reasons why you wouldn't want to buy it. Some people do like to have that switchability between mic and line. So this way it's either a mic or it's anything else but a mic, a line input, that sort of thing. Maybe even have a high Z option on it would have been nice. This way if somebody wanted to plug their guitar into it, that would be another reason. So on the Pro side, it does have two full combo jack inputs and a 3.5 as an option and Bluetooth. So those are all good on the input and along with the XLR output. On the negative side, you could definitely look at the fact that it doesn't have the switchability between a high Z line and mic input, which means manually switchable. So this way you can guarantee it's going to sound right and you're not going to perform the speaker. You're not going to push too much power through it because you had it in the wrong setting. I'm just saying, that's just one of the reasons why not to buy it, because of those inputs, and a good reason to buy it, because I do think there's an awful lot of inputs there. Options and features. Overall option features, the speaker's got enough when it comes to everything. Now, the price is $600 currently. Now, I think at this time in the stage for a speaker to have a price tag of $600, it should have basic app functionality to it. So everything we did on the back of the speaker should be doable on an app at this point. Apps don't cost that much money. There's a development charge up front to it's all upfront weighted, but then you're not paying for it over and over again. The chip is minute, very cost efficient, is like the best thing you can do to a speaker to guarantee that you're showing value in the product, is to have an app on it. And it's not going to cost the manufacturer in the long term. Upfront, yes. Down the road, definitely not. So that would be a great reason to buy the speaker if you wanted to make it better. Version 2, have an app. Version 2, again, for $600, you should have options on that menu that would have allowed you to have variable options on the output. So can this actually be a fixed or variable on the output? Also, the Bluetooth, can it have TWS all through the menu options? And can the inputs be switchable all through the menu, all through the app? These things would be good, along with EQing. At $600, we should start seeing EQing again on an app. Now, that tells me that maybe this speaker costs more than it should at this point. But it's great soundings, higher power than most speakers at an entry level. So this is definitely not an entry level product. So that's one of those other things. But again, at $600, you got to like it. And there's lots of people who like it. So I'm going to say, if you're okay with the price tag, it's a very good speaker to buy. So if you're looking for a speaker that's maxed out on power and, you know, the new way of getting it done, which I think is very good, this is definitely going to be one of those speakers you're going to want to look at to buy. Now, if you're looking at $600 and you want to have things like apps and features like that, you're going to probably not look at this right off the hop, simply for the fact that it doesn't have all those extra features on it. Now, again, the speakers that have all of that may or may not be as powerful as this one. So you got to ask yourself, is that really what you want? So definitely go into a store, have a listen to the speaker, take that price in mind, ask to compare it against something that does have an app versus something like this that doesn't have an app, and see where your $600 feels best for you. Outside of that, ICOA's got a whole new line of new products coming out. They've got a Pro series they just launched. Crazy stuff. Much bigger price tag. Probably has all the features we're talking about. We'll have to see if they reach out to me. By the way, LD, if you're watching this, I know you watch all these videos. You're good guys. Have a look. Check our contact information. Always interested in trying the new stuff. But for now, I think if it's in your budget and you're interested, definitely go have a listen to it. So again, this is part of a whole new series of videos. You're going to see more of these. These are videos all about, should I buy it or should I not? It's not a question of if it's good or not. I've pretty much decided if I review products, I like the products. I'm not going to have my personal opinion on if something's, you know, if I have a bad one or is it a bad product. I try to avoid that as much as possible. So in this case, I definitely personally like the product. Would I buy it? 57-year-old guy who's looking at stuff like this? Probably not. I'd probably look at a line array, maybe one of their line arrays. Haven't actually listened to any of them, but if it's as good as this when it comes acoustic, then it's probably a good way to go. I just like line arrays because I don't have to pick up 57 pounds off the floor. So at this point, I'd like to say thanks for watching. You're at the end of the video, so if you want to see the full review of this speaker here, by all means, it's on the screen here somewhere. Don't forget to leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate that very much. That's also on the screen. See you next time. Bye for now.